Now he has.
um, yeah, but due to the random spawning in Fallout 3, in certain instances, like a Deathclaw would spawn outside of like a necessary town, and it would just go in and kill all the all of the people. And so you would get these random like things like this quest was failed and this quest was failed when you're
Oh.
nowhere near them, because then you have no idea what's going on until like 30 hours later when you finally stumble upon that town and find everyone dead and the Deathclaw just kind of standing there like, hey.
What's going on?
Oh,
Yeah, like
man.
I know there was stuff like with crates, and like sometimes you want to get like they'll have like bottles that are in the crates. Sometimes you can't like get to
Yeah,
what
and
you
you'll
want.
have like a crate on top of the one that you need, and you need to move that. Yeah, that was horrible. Another note that I liked but I didn't like was the addition of Sunset Sarsaparilla in this one, and more importantly the star bottle caps.
Ow!
Oh God, your chest, your body.
He shot me in the boob.
I mean, nipple ring? Nah, no, I'm not gonna make that joke. Never mind. I'm sorry. Turpentine. What the fuck? Oh yeah, that shit's for like.
Nuka grenades.
Yeah,
I like made so many of those in Fallout 3. I'm carrying like 20 on my current character, and I even took. Oops. I even took the. There's a perk for every 10 Nuka Colas. It converts the 10 into a Nuka Cola Quantum.
Cool.
So I just kept stockpiling Nuka Colas, and I was just like, and Abraxo cleaner and turpentine, and tin cans.
Yeah. The only thing I actually ever like went out of my way to make in 3, and I guess this is another. I hate to be negative about it, but I feel like this is another thing that 3 did better than New Vegas was the schematics. I don't think there's any schematics in New Vegas, and they'd give you like super powerful weapons if you could craft them. And the one that you would make, the only one that I went out of my way to make, was the dart gun.
Yeah, that's
because
very
that
effective.
would like cripple legs or something like that, or cripple like all their limbs right away.
Well, if you
and
shot
that
them
was,
in the limb,
yeah,
I think.
okay. Well, that was very effective for Deathclaws, because Deathclaws are super fast. So if you cripple their limbs, they just kind of like hobble along, and they're much easier to kill.
Yeah, they can't lunge at you then.
Yeah. Oh man, those were horrible. Oh, which by the way, fuck this game. So fairly early on, I want to say level 8 or 10, you'll come across a pass that you need to go through for this story for some reason.
I can't.
Oh man, I wish. But you have to go through this pass for the story, and in the middle of it, is something called a blind Deathclaw. That fucker is not blind. I don't care what they say. That thing hears me no matter how
I remember
stealthily I am. It just kills me right away. I don't understand what the hell they're doing. They're out of their goddamn mind. It was horrible. That's right, you run away, coward. Oh man. So yeah, Deathclaws, hide. Don't face them. At least again until you're like 20 or 30, because you can actually take them.
Especially you want to like stay away from the quarry, I believe it's in here.
Yeah,
There's
the quarry.
The Alpha Deathclaw.
There's
there a legendary Deathclaw?
There is a legendary Deathclaw, and I stumbled upon it by pure accident. I had somehow actually gotten through that pass with the blind Deathclaw. I don't know if I had used cheap tricks or whatever. Either way, I made it through, and I was still pretty underleveled. And I am pretty obsessive about locations. That's what this in Fallout 3 did amazingly well for me, was like exploring. Those little empty triangles you see at the bottom of the oh god,
Of
the
your
direction
little map.
indicator.
Yeah.
They're undiscovered locations, and I love discovering locations.
Oh my god, I totally forgot. Food heals you over time.
Oh yeah, it doesn't do it right away.
I probably shouldn't have eaten all that. I'm probably gonna puke now.
Just get really, really bad. Find the toilet. I think. Can we open that? Do we have the 30 lockpick?
Well, we have easy.
Yeah. This is actually a fun game too. I like these. I like the way the lockpicking was done in this game. It's very enjoyable.
It does get frustrating. Like my controller at home is the joystick.
Oh god.
The joystick is starting to like drift.
Yeah.
So like
So it's harder
I'll be approaching it, and like the stick will start vibrating saying, "Hey, no, like you're about to break." And I'm like, "No, stop." And then it breaks it. I'm like, "You
mother."
Not my fault.
Well,
I'm going, you know what?
Now, do you evenly spread this stuff out? I started something just a few minutes ago, and I forgot why I got backtracked, probably because of the game. But what I was trying to say was I like the ability to buy unlocks or get them through unlocking. And the recent example I wanted to point out was actually Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers just came out for both the Wii U and the 3DS, and being that I own both systems, I was certain I was going to get it for Wii U just because that's the better one. It's going to have better graphics and whatnot. But ultimately, what ended up being a big factor as to choosing the 3DS version over the Wii U was because in the Wii U you unlock less characters. I think you only unlock like 9 or 8 characters, whereas in Wii U you have to unlock I think 12 or 15.
Okay.
So, and I don't know, that idea of like I can get more gameplay out of it if I'm actually like trying to unlock something appealed to me better. So, and was cheaper, mind you. So, yeah, I understand the idea of like forcing you to take one route, and it's kind of dumb. Like actually a good example that we've been talking about recently that we have not yet gone too much into depth. I don't know if you even know about it. Assassin's Creed Unity, a lot of the chests that you unlock, you have to unlock through extraneous methods, either by being part of their stupid companion app, or even I think in one case you have to actually like buy the ability to open it, and it's really dumb. Putting anything behind those paywalls is just really frustrating, to say the least.
Yeah, and it's like, I can understand. I can understand purchasing like additional content, like map pack. Even that I kind of have problems with. It's like, I remember like in Halo when you would play multiplayer, then they're like, hey, we're gonna release a pack of 4 maps that you can add to multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can see why you may want to have consumers pay for that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm like, I don't understand necessarily why we would have to pay for it. I mean, didn't we paid for your? I mean, if you look, you look at it in like in terms of like if you buy a car and then they come out with an update, if you want to buy something like an additional thing for your car, it costs extra.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
no.
I keep going back and forth because to me, when they start doing a lot of that, like the Battlefield franchise has this thing that they start with 3 called Premium, which is you buy the original release of the game,
mm-hmm.
but then they have this thing called Premium where they're like, okay, you pay an extra $50 for this season pass, and basically it's like as we have plans to release new content over the span of the next year.
Yeah. So
if you pay for this season pass, you're going to get all that content at no other additional charge.
Yeah.
But you're paying for it up front.
Yep.
And it's like...
And mind you, they still have to deliver it to you.
Yeah, they still have to deliver it to you.
There's been a couple instances, I don't think anything on console just yet, but of recent in like PC world where developers don't end up giving what they say they're going to give. They renege on their deals. And it is frustrating as shit. Now, I personally, thankfully, have not had to deal with that yet, but I've read plenty of stories of them.
Well, Grand Theft Auto 5 is kind of in that boat right now.
That's a good example. I don't know if heists are supposed to be free or not, but
no, they are. They're going to be free. But think I forget because it's been a while. But I'm pretty confident that I think when they were announcing the game, that was originally part of the part of the appeal was that you could play online, that you could do these cooperative heists.
Yep.
I could be wrong. That could have been something that was mentioned after the fact, but I do remember them announcing that pretty early.
Yeah.
And then it still has not come out yet, and that game is what, a year old?
Over, yeah.
So it's kind of like...
It has been released on another system, another set of systems. God, I'm out of ammo.
So it's a frustrating and annoying, but they're supposed to be coming out. Those heists are supposed to be coming out very soon.
That's what I hear.
And they released a trailer for it, and I saw like the footage they showed from it, and I was like, wow, this looks like a totally different like game. I try to.
Okay.
I mean, it depends.
I usually will dump all of the points into one thing. until it's like at 50 or something like that. Or I think in this game you had to get up to 75 or something like that because skill books weren't as valuable in this one.
You know what? I don't know what we should have not picked unarmed. I feel
Nah.
like looking at it now, we should have either done. We should just like melee and something else.
Well, I mean, we can dump anything into it
you know
now.
what? I like speeches, so we're gonna try and bump that
Speech
up.
is very useful, especially in this game. Like Fallout 3 kind of has a good balance of everything, but in this game, speech is incredibly valuable.
You know what? We're gonna take Black Widow because
there's a lot of men.
there's a lot of men.
Yeah, there's not many.
I mean, I guess you can do both eventually.
you can, yeah.
Or do we want to do? No.
I typically do.
Let's do. I don't know. What should we do?
Let's do Black Widow. Let's just stick
Widow.
with that for now. Because again, this is just gonna be a test or a taste. I'm sorry, a test. Test of Fallout New Vegas.
Test.
Taste test. Yes. So we're not gonna be able to finish this character. All right, I'm trying to remember where I left off in a story. So yeah, I made it through that pass with the blind Deathclaw, and in the next, right past that, to the right is an undiscovered location, a wind-swept cavern or something like that, something to do with wind and a cavern. So I go in there, I discover it, and I think immediately, if I remember correctly, I was like, I'm probably not good enough for this. I took like 2 steps away, and I'm like, I gotta look. So I turn back around, I go in, and I just kind of crouch. I don't see anything. It's really dark. And then I take like 2 steps forward, sneaking, mind you, and something detects me. And I'm like, what? I turn around, a Deathclaw's in my face.
Oh.
Unfortunately, this is the legendary Deathclaw that like is
in
God's
the face.
These ones can be so brutal.
I feel like and like already we picked the melee character, and I'm using the 9mm pistol. Like, what does that say about me?
I don't know that you know where the real fight is. I mean, you don't bring a tire iron to a gunfight, right? Yeah, no, the Deathclaw that was in my face was like the Godzilla legendary Deathclaw that's like about 3 stories high and fills the entire cavern. Yeah, that was bad. I died very, very quickly. I think he hit me once or twice and I was gone. I was like, well, not going back in there. Good thing I saved. My 75th save that character. Oh, man. Good times.
I mean, like, an example, like, this is kind of like an example I was talking about before with when you go and explore some of this stuff, like, you go in and you're like, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
Or like one thing, oh geez, all right, where's the gun?
Oh, there's 4 of them. Oh God, we're getting surrounded. That's okay.
I got this.
I was gonna say
I got this.
I typically wouldn't shoot for anything under 70.
And I apparently missed everything.
Man, we're the best.
All right.
Best shots in the world.
Hack and slash time. Hack and slash.
Oh man, that's a genre. What did I played one game in a hack and slash genre.
Come
what
back here.
He's
Oh,
running away.
Jesus.
Freaking coward.
Oh, Dead Island?
No. That's, I wouldn't call it, I mean, I guess it's a melee hack and slash, but what I was thinking was
Where do you go?
I don't know. Well, I mean, the one,
Ow.
God, there he is. It was there's the Dynasty Warrior series. I didn't play any of those. There was like a spin-off one. It was like 90 nights. I don't know. It was
I got the key.
something weird. But that was fun, I guess. Hack and slash genre is a very
Just stop picking up pistols. I don't know why I keep doing it.
I mean,
Actually, actually that's a lie. I do know why I keep doing it. It's because I want to carry extra weapons that I can repair my current weapons
for
with.
repair. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, because I need
Jesus.
4 pistols.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you talking about? We need that.
So then I just like repair the ones that I will eventually use for repair
Yeah.
or to sell. Selling stuff is fun too.
Well, that's also something that's weird, and you gotta be really careful with. I didn't repair too much, but selling stuff when you have, the 9mm and it says 2, that means they're both at the same repair level, I guess, or worn down level.
Yeah.
And so you'll sell one of those, but then instead of staying where it is in the menu, it like jumps to the top.
It was almost like, because they showed stuff that as far as I know, is not in the original release. So it's almost like in order to make these heists work, they had to essentially make another game, like a mini game.
Yeah.
And okay, if that's the case, then I would much rather see it delayed and have them work out all the bugs and making sure that it works properly and it's, its content is the best that they can make it, and that they don't half-ass it.
Yeah.
But and I've said to a friend is like, I say I'd rather have them delay something like that, but I at least want them to tell me that.
Yeah.
Like, not leave me in the dark going, well, where's this?
Yeah.
Where's that? Why haven't they said anything?
Yeah, I know. I mean, like I said, I thankfully never bought that game anyway, but yeah, I just having to wait on that shit, and then, as you said, like, having no word. That's honestly something that's weird to me, and, like, I don't quite understand why they haven't fixed yet. Like, certain companies just don't talk about, I'm not going to bother with this right now, they just don't talk about what the hell they're doing. Like, they say they're going to do this, and then you hear nothing until, hopefully, it ever comes out. And unless they really just have no excuse, and they're just like, well, we're being lazy right now, so we're not doing it.
Well,
I don't understand why you would not say, well, look, there's been some troubles. Unfortunately, something didn't work out as well as we would like to, so it's going to be delayed. Like that, just having a word from someone would benefit, and other companies have done that, and those are the kind of companies that people will stay behind for a long period of time.
Why is your oxygen going down?
It isn't. Oh, it's because I'm out in the space. So.
Oh, so
yeah.
it does.
Yeah,
that?
it's a limited amount of oxygen, and also if you double jump like that, you use some up. I think actually the oxygen slam doesn't use any. No, okay, so it's just that.
But
yeah,
you can replenish it.
Yeah, there's plenty of oxygen bubbles,
good.
and those little blue vents are oxygen vents.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you're really never hurting for oxygen.
That's good.
Yeah, that's honestly like one of the things I think some people were either complaining about or worried about, and I don't understand why. Because again, they give you plenty. There's never an issue. I've never had an issue with oxygen. I do need. What uses this?
It's assault rifle ammo.
Oh, never mind. I got it. I ran out when I was fighting those bastards. All right. Dead drop. Can I touch that?
You
Nope.
can touch it, but it doesn't do it.
I was kind of hoping it would shock me. All right. Okay. Here we go.
It's kind of getting back to what we were talking about. Like, I think a lot of it also comes from society kind of being impatient with stuff. And somehow we've gotten into this whole mindset of I want this and I want it now. And like when people say something, people take it at face value.
Yeah.
They don't
scrutinize it in any way.
Yeah, and especially with games, like I had this conversation. I don't know if it was you or was somebody else, but we were talking about like at E3, like which is the big, convention every year.
Yep.
They announce a game like, "Hey, we're making this," and all they show you is the title of the next game. Like,
Yep.
What's the next Tomb Raider supposed to be called?
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Such a crappy title.
And that's all we see with some voiceover, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, yeah, Tomb Raider, when's it coming out next year, right?" And it's like, no, guys, like, it may not be for another 3 years or something. And like, as sucky as that is, I'm like, it's great. From the company standpoint, they want to get you excited about it.
Yeah.
And I like that. Like, I want to be excited. I like knowing, like, oh, I can expect this in the future. But I also realize that it may not be for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, part of me would rather not. Don't tell me until it's closer.
Yep. Personally, I prefer like within the year. Like, I'll give you an example, and a lot of people again hate on this. I've already been shown that I love this game. Resident Evil 6. Resident Evil 6 was announced in like January or February of I want to say 2013, and then was set to release in October. It's like that to me is perfect. Like, Rise of the Tomb Raider was announced last June. Is supposed to come out, if it comes out on time, mind you, is supposed to come out holiday 2015, which is the holiday
like
of
a year
this
from now.
Yeah, it's almost a year. It's January something right now, like very early. So, yeah.
Well, no, it was it'll be 2 years since they announced it.
Yep. And mind you, that's just for the Xbox One version.